Alright, so last time we did this, we had the GOAT himself, the Fire King himself here, Groudon, alright? And he actually did good. He actually cleared the entire thing without the need of the Gotengo amp. So, and obviously, I was lowballing him. I mean, Groudon could easily get to multiversal to even outerversal pretty easily. So, it wouldn't be a real fight. But today we're going to do someone a little different. We're actually going to put a kaiju that actually has been in the respective franchise for a while. And believe it or not, I found some interesting stuff to, well, you can actually upscale Zilla Jr. here to things like universal, multiversal, and hyperversal pretty easily. But today we're going to see if the King of Mutants in his canon continuity can beat the final boss, Monster X, and the rest of the Final Wars verse as a whole here. So, the rules are pretty simple. He's going to be taking the place of Godzilla. And, yeah, he's going to be just going through the entire thing from start to finish. So, let's start off with the scaling. Now, Zilla Jr. should easily be into those large planet ranges. The reason why I say that is because, for starters, he starts at a base of multi-continental. As a matter of fact, Godzilla the series actually has a very good scaling chain for Zilla Jr. here. He's able to take an island-busting explosion. He's able to create his own warm front, which is country level pretty easily. And then he beats a monster named Medusa here, who can absorb all the water on Earth and turn it into power. And keep in mind, when Zilla actually was able to beat her, he beat her when she was in the New York harbor and was absorbing all that water. Basically, all she needed was just a standing point that has access to the ocean, or at least any percent of water on Earth, and would have absorbed every ounce of it. And Zilla winding up beating her while she was gaining power. Yeah, pretty impressive, right? Now, keep in mind, Zilla has also been able to go toe-to-toe and beat the Crackler, a monster that he basically amped. And, well, yeah, the Crackler being able to run on electrons or electromagnetic waves, and Zilla's atomic breath or atomic fire was able to amp that. Based on the calculations and feats here, it easily gets Zilla to large planetary. Questionable, but I actually think it should be taken into consideration as well, considering Zilla, even after the Medusa incident, was actually getting stronger and fighting stronger monsters every single time. So, yeah, he should scale pretty high, or at least just at planetary at best here. Now, in terms of speed, Zilla Jr. is easily FTL here, as he's able to casually react to and even dodge people who can easily, well, dodge and even block his atomic breath. This is important because his atomic fire is confirmed to be a beam of light. So, Zilla Jr. over here is actually able to dodge his father's atomic breath, which is very similar to his, and being able to fight and, well, react to and even blitz monsters that have been able to dodge his atomic breath. He's also been able to whack and hit the hummingbirds, which bend light waves in order to move. And keep in mind, Junior is strong enough to take attacks from monsters that have equalized or have shown firepower equal to that of his atomic breath. So again, dude is pretty consistent when it comes to his feats here. Now, addressing this, the Godzilla the Kaiju Battle Royale. Yeah, this one also has Zilla Jr. in it, and you could actually scale him pretty high. Like, I'm not even kidding. Scaling to all these other monsters, like these different versions of Godzilla. By the way, the game actually, I think the last update for the game was like 2016 when they added Shin Godzilla. Yeah, it's actually a pretty interesting game. I've actually watched a bit of it myself here, and believe it or not, I like it. Even this new monster called Glacius, which I took a rather great interest in my opinion here, because I never heard of this monster. I've heard of Crystalak and Obsidius, monsters that we haven't seen in years, but we never got Glacius back. kind of disappointing in my opinion, because I do love the sheer fact that he is a cryomancy kaiju, you know, and he was actually operating under the Exilians, much like Monster X. So I'm definitely gonna have to give him a video in the future and wondering if he could possibly work in the MonsterVerse here. So with that being said, here scaling to different versions of Godzilla, King Ghidorah pretty easily. You know, this would get Zilla Jr. obviously an elevation in scaling, right, if we use this here. But I just kind of want to let y'all know about it. We're not going to use it for this video. I just kind of want to get you a heads up that, yeah, he can get pretty high if he wants to. Now let's go over his hacks and abilities. Zilla Jr. is known for his power breath and his burrowing capabilities. However, Jr. also has a regenerative ability where he's actually able to heal himself when he's actually hydrated, when he has a lot of water around him, or when he's in water. Any cuts and scrapes simply just heal automatically. It's very interesting. But without further ado, let's get into it and start off with the first two monsters in the Final Wars verse here, Ibira and Hedorah. Again, still one of the funniest kills of all time, because Ibira's claw is just stuck in Hedorah's eye socket. And you know that gotta hurt. Like, that can't be comfortable at all here. And then they just get blasted into oblivion. Well, I don't see why Zilla Jr. shouldn't be able to. His power breath is definitely capable of melting and possibly even cooking Ibira, which actually would be pretty interesting. Yo, I wonder what Ibira would actually taste like. Would he actually taste like a conventional lobster? Like, you know, if we like cooked him up and eat him, I wonder how he would actually taste though. Like, bro could feed generations of families with just that crab meat alone. I mean that lobster meat alone. I'm just saying. But anyway, Junior clears, and now we have Zilla from Final Wars versus Zilla Jr. Again, pretty great that he's the only monster that actually has some kind of feat, right? He also has his signature power breath, and, well, that's about it. Great speed, great, okay power breath, but, you know, he died pretty quickly. Like, dude got knocked out by a tail slap, or at least like immobilized a little bit by a tail slap. And, well, that's pretty much Junior's signature. Like, them tail slaps even sound like baseball swings at a time. Like, the dude is smacking and then just straight up burning his lesser self here. Or his lesser counterpart of his father, or his birth father, or whatever. You know what? I definitely think Godzilla 1998 did go a little overboard with that asexual reproduction, but that's neither here or there. Next up, we got the bugs, Kumonga and Kamacuras. Now, this is pretty interesting in my opinion. Kamacuras might get eaten because Zilla did have I guess you could say, a small taste for, like, insects. It's not a bad thing, but again, Kamacuras is a meal. As for Kumonga, it just gets ripped to shreds. I mean, that won't be fun at all here. But let's move on to the triple team. Now we get something a bit more difficult. Anguirus, Rodan, and the GOAT, King Caesar himself. Now, unfortunately, this is not the Showa era. And, well, Godzilla pretty much just clowned these guys, like, pretty easy. Like, just no difficulty. Just throwing them around, body slamming them, just leaving them completely, defeated. Like, it's just so sad, because these are, like, very powerful kaiju in their own right here. But Junior should really have no problem just getting around and just outspeeding them entirely. I can see him doing the same thing Final Wars did, but maybe with his own twist to it. Maybe he just, like, you know, uses his atomic fire breath to blow Rodan out of the air. And again, he's more than agile enough, because none of these monsters scale to Final Wars Godzilla in any form, in anything. No attack potency, no abilities, nothing. Now, I will admit, Anguirus' roll attack might be a little bit unpredictable, and maybe with their coordination, they could probably work around his speed. However, the problem is here, what if Junior sees Angear's rolling at him, and he just burrows underground just to displace him? Again, Junior is a very intelligent kaiju. Plus, with his attack potency, he might just do the same thing King Caesar did, except when, King Caesar kicks it at him, which I think would be funny, Junior uses his tail and just bats it at him. So imagine them having a back and forth with Anguirus, and he's just begging them like, dude, just let me crash. Just end it now, please. Now, we're going to skip the first stage guy again because that one was fodder. So now let's get into Saw Hands guy again, right? And, well, the best feats he really has is against Mothra, and then coming back and being able to somewhat harm Final Wars of Godzilla. But after that, really nothing. I mean, he doesn't do anything except fight Mothra in the air, and he's, struggling against her. And then the dumbest part about this is he legit poses after blasting her, and then his own razors come and cut him. Like an idiot. Like, how the heck do you lose to your own inventions, dude? Like, how do your own things harm you? And in all honesty, I don't see a reason why Zilla wouldn't just dodge and outmaneuver those things just to kind of pull a Goku and Frieza situation where Goku's dodging the Death Saucer, right? And all of a sudden, Frieza just finds his way in front of him and gets cut in half by his own attack. Like, you have to be such an idiot for that to happen. And Gigan's the same way. Just less powerful, but we're not going to get into that. But, yeah, Zilla Jr. seems to be clearing pretty well, right? Oh, wait, we forgot. The WWE Monster Champion himself, Monster X. Oh, yeah, this is actually it's pretty even. Unless you really go with the quote, I think, I probably got to find it here. Monster X has Cosmic Tier of powers, and then he's like star level, so if you go with that one, then yeah, Monster X should be, star level. He'll just outdo Zilla Jr. in that department here. Except for speed. That would probably mainly keep Zilla in the game. Just that his attack potency is really not going to be up there. However, not using that and just keeping it pretty linear with Final Wars' baseline scaling here. Junior and Kaiser would have a pretty interesting back and forth here. I definitely think Kaiser is definitely the stronger and more durable of the two. Plus, with his hand-to-hand combat, he's definitely putting Zilla Jr. on the back foot for a large majority of the fight here. However, Zilla's higher intelligence, burrowing capabilities, and plus, Kaiser doesn't really fly. Monster X doesn't fly, but I guess that kind of spoils the next argument I'm going to have here for Kaiser Ghidorah. But Junior should be able to take the gravity beams, albeit not too many. I definitely think those are definitely going to pulverize him a bit if he gets caught in them. However, his Pyro Breath should be able to counter it to a certain degree here. However, when we get to the Kaiser Ghidorah part, it's over. Yeah, wrap it up. Video's done. Right? So, Zilla Jr. would actually stop here. The anti-gravity beams, which I actually believe, and I think me and Churros King actually talked about this in our King Ghidorah from the Monsters vs. Kaiser Ghidorah video on his, so I'll just put the link in that, below. And the thing is, though, the anti-gravity beams may have been a part, or the anti-gravitational properties of Kaiser Ghidorah's gravity beams may have been a part of the reason why Kaiser Ghidorah was able to overpower Godzilla's atomic breath, as well as him being stronger. So it looks like Zilla Jr. is on the back foot. However, what if he gets the Gotengo radiation boost, right? I mean, Zilla is an irradiated iguana. There should be no reason why he's not able to absorb at least some amounts of radiation. But how would that go here? Because we really don't have any evidence of Zilla of Junior over here being able to get an amp beyond his base form. But for the sake of this video, let's say it just kind of works like Final Wars, where he just gets this more divinely form and he just becomes stronger and more powerful and develops some sort of counteract to, prevent Kaiser from biting and absorbing him. Well, then he just begins to shred Kaiser. There's really no way around it here. And he uses his power breath to just finish him off here. You see, the problem here is that even if Kaiser does overwhelm Zilla, Zilla still has the means to kind of get around him a little bit, I mean, it's not like Kaiser's actually using his wings and flying like his IDW counterpart, which in all honesty kind of made his Kaiser form somewhat just useless in my opinion. But at the end of the day, we have these results. Zilla Jr. would clear if he gets to go Tango Boost, stabs at Kaiser Ghidorah, but would make it a high difficulty situation if he doesn't. But that's going to be all for today, you guys. Please comment down below, like and subscribe and share with your friends. This is Legendary Grimlock, and I hope y'all have a blessed day. Peace.